Right now, you're made of about 7 octillion atoms. That's a 7 followed by 27 zeros. Every single thing you can see, touch, or imagine is built from these impossibly tiny building blocks. Your body, your phone, the moon, even the air between them. Atoms are the Lego bricks of reality. Let's zoom in and explore the smallest things that make up everything. How small is an atom? If you enlarged an atom to the size of a football stadium, a proton would be the size of a marble in the center. If you lined up atoms side by side, you'd need 5 million of them to equal the width of a single human hair. They're so small that we can't see them even with regular microscopes. Atoms are hilariously tiny. Every atom has 3 types of particles. Protons have a positive charge and live in the nucleus. Neutrons have no charge and also live in the nucleus. Electrons have a negative charge and orbit the nucleus in a cloud. Think of it like a tiny solar system, with the nucleus as the sun and electrons as planets. Except it's way weirder than that. Here's something mind-blowing. Atoms are 99.9999999% empty space. If the nucleus was the size of a peanut, the electrons would be orbiting a kilometer away. You are mostly nothing. If you removed all the empty space from all humans on Earth, we'd fit inside a sugar cube. Solid objects are an illusion. Because atoms are mostly empty space, you've never actually touched anything in your life. When you touch a table, the electrons in your hand repel the electrons in the table. You're feeling electromagnetic force, not physical contact. You're hovering nanometers above everything. Even right now, you're not sitting on your chair. You're floating above it. There are 98 naturally occurring types of atoms, called elements. Hydrogen is the simplest. 1 proton, 1 electron. Uranium is complex. 92 protons. The number of protons determines which element an atom is. Add or remove a proton, and you've created a completely different element. Alchemy is real, just really hard. Every atom in your body except hydrogen was created inside a star. Stars fuse lighter elements into heavier ones. When massive stars explode as supernovas, they scatter these atoms across space. Those atoms eventually formed planets, including Earth. And eventually, you. You are literally made of stardust. Carl Sagan was right. Atoms are immortal. They don't get created or destroyed in normal conditions, just rearranged. The atoms in your body have been part of countless other things before you. Dinosaurs, oceans, stars, other humans. Right now, you contain atoms that were once part of Shakespeare, Cleopatra, and T-Rex. We're all recycling the same atoms over and over. Atoms rarely exist alone. They bond together to form molecules. 2 hydrogen atoms plus 1 oxygen atom makes water. 6 carbon atoms plus 12 hydrogen atoms makes gasoline. The combinations are endless. Chemistry is just atoms mixing and matching in different patterns. Like cosmic Lego with very specific rules. At the atomic scale, physics gets weird. Electrons don't orbit like planets. They exist in probability clouds. They can be in multiple places at once until you observe them. They can tunnel through barriers that should be impossible to cross. The tiny world doesn't follow the rules we're used to. Atoms live in a quantum wonderland. Electrons can only exist at specific energy levels, like floors in a building. They can jump between floors by absorbing or releasing energy. When electrons drop to lower levels, they release light. That's how neon signs, fireworks, and even the northern lights work. Electrons jumping is literally what makes light. Atoms of the same element can have different numbers of neutrons. These are called isotopes. Carbon-12 has 6 neutrons. Carbon-14 has 8. Same element, different weight. Some isotopes are stable. Others are radioactive and decay over time. Carbon-14 dating uses this to figure out how old fossils are. The nucleus of an atom is held together by the strongest force in the universe, the strong nuclear force. It's so powerful that breaking atomic bonds releases massive energy. That's nuclear power. 1 kilogram of uranium can produce as much energy as burning 2 million kilograms of coal. E equals mc squared is real. For centuries, atoms were theoretical. We couldn't see them. But in 1981, scientists invented the scanning tunneling microscope. For the first time, we could actually image individual atoms. Now, we can even move them around one at a time. We've gone from imagining atoms to playing with them like tiny marbles. Individual atoms don't have color. Color comes from atoms absorbing and reflecting specific wavelengths of light. A red apple looks red because its atoms absorb every color except red. Gold is gold-colored because of how its electrons interact with light. At the atomic level, there's no paint, just electrons dancing with photons. Humans have created elements that don't exist in nature. By smashing atoms together in particle accelerators, scientists have made elements up to number 118. These super heavy elements only exist for fractions of a second before decaying. But they exist. We're literally creating new types of matter that the universe never made. The most accurate clocks in the world use atoms. Cesium atoms vibrate 9 billion times per second. By counting these vibrations, atomic clocks are so precise, they wouldn't lose a second in 300 million years. GPS satellites use atomic clocks. Without them, your maps would be off by kilometers. Atoms keep time better than anything else. Normal computers use bits that are either 0 or 1. Quantum computers use atoms in superposition, existing as both at once. This lets them solve certain problems exponentially faster. A quantum computer with just 300 atoms could perform more calculations simultaneously than there are atoms in the universe. The atomic future is coming. We're learning to engineer materials atom by atom. Carbon atoms arranged in sheets make graphene, 200 times stronger than steel. Arranged in tubes, they make nanotubes for super materials. By controlling atomic structure, we can create materials with impossible properties. The future is built one atom at a time. If an atom was scaled up to the size of Earth, a human hair would be wider than the sun. If you could count one atom per second, it would take you 15 billion years to count the atoms in a single drop of water. There are more atoms in a glass of water than glasses of water in all the oceans. The atomic world is incomprehensibly vast. Atoms are the foundation of everything. They're impossibly small, mostly empty, born in stars, and will outlive us all. Every breath you take, every move you make, involves billions of atoms working together. You are a walking universe of tiny particles following the laws of physics. Pretty amazing for something you can't even see. Subscribe for more atomic knowledge.